All right, we're live with Dallin Pepper, second fittest man on earth. Do you know Augustus or no? Augustus Link, by chance? He's in a lot of the chats. I don't know if you've
Yeah,
ever seen him around.
he's my
Yeah.
dog. He's got my
Okay.
back all the time. I've never met
Yeah,
him. Did I see? I might have saw a comment with he's gonna come to Crash or someone else that's always in the chat.
yeah.
Can't remember.
He likes to make fun of my lack of CrossFit knowledge because I started in like 2021, and I'd asked them, and there's like a Sevenista is a group chat, and I asked
Uh-huh.
them because I was like, I got 20 minutes to work out today. I want to do something. What am I going to do? And I'm like, I've never done Diane. And I went to look it up just to make sure, and it didn't say strict. So I figured we're good. And I went to watch a video, and the dude in the video on YouTube was doing it strict. So I asked them to clarify.
You can do it whatever makes you happy.
Well, I'm going to need the kip. So,
Yeah.
So wait, are we allowed to publicly, like, this whole thing you guys just did? Are you making like a video documentary on it, or can I say?
No, you can say what we did. I'm gonna do a little giveaway with the times, but
Okay, cool.
that, we're
we
good.
won't say the times. All right. So how many people now? How did you set this up? They did a high rocks type thing. I want to hear about this, like what you guys did.
So John texted me and Jason. It was before I even knew if we were gonna come up, but he's like, let's do a High Rocks Thursday morning. Set it up at Crash because Crash is the coolest gym ever to do something like that. So we set up the High Rocks. I don't know if we got the distance quite right. It might have been a little short, but it was plenty. And it was me, Jason, John, Fee's husband Al, and then I believe, sorry if this is wrong, Brock from Crash. He just trains here, but we all just threw down, just finished up not that long ago. John finished up even less time ago, if that makes sense.
Oh, it makes sense. All right.
But no, it was
you guys
hard.
Like okay, so you guys had like all the stations, the best you could do and everything? All the stations set up?
We just went back and forth on the turf for the most part in the back of Crash. And, it was weird because Crash is in like feet, and I think everything at High Rocks is meters, so there may have been some miscounts here and there, but I mean, we did. It was the idea. It was fun.
I feel like the burpee broad jumps would take a lot out of me.
Those were so hard. The run after those was probably the worst part. That's at the halfway point. So
yeah, there's some people who did like I've seen people do. I know, and Tyson Bajent, the backup from the Bears.
Yep.
They were talking about, what was it? It wasn't a burpee broad jump mile, I don't think. Maybe it was, or a burpee broad
it's like
400 maybe.
It's the world's hardest mile or whatever. I can't remember all the movements.
Is it it's a mile? Okay, got it. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so there's four movements, a lap of each, and it ends with a 400-meter burpee broad jump, I think.
Got it.
I know there's lunges. What would it be?
Yeah.
Lunges, burpee broad jump. One is a run, I think. And then there's something else.
Awesome. Wait, where are you in Florida? Are you Jacksonville, or am I off on that?
Yeah, we're in Jacksonville now. We moved there in January.
Okay, so I've been to Jacksonville, and I remember it's not far from Orlando. So did you guys get hit at all?
No. I mean, we were gonna come to Crash anyway. I think we just came out a day early.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Okay.
I wasn't worried about like anything crazy other than losing power. And then it was like we were deciding if we were gonna come to Crash, and it was based on if I thought I could get good training. And then the thought of not having power, I would obviously get better training here. So it worked out. We didn't end up losing power or anything. Our neighbors were texting us. They said it wasn't much in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Farther south definitely got hit. But apparently there's another one coming next week.
Are you serious?
I just saw something. Man. It's like getting
hammered
directly south up into like the Big Bend region. It kind of looks like.
Yeah. So with Crash and everything, when you come up there, do you just stay with friends or whatnot, since you've got so many people up there that you know in that area?
Yeah, we just stay with the hoppers.
Okay, cool.
We've come up a couple of times, so yeah, it's been fun.
Is he gonna cook the steaks?
We're smoking a brisket.
Oh gosh,
Primal beef, baby.
primal
It's
beef.
yeah. Me
That
and Jason working with them a little bit, and the brisket, dude. My dad smokes meat all the time, like,
yeah.
and he's like all about it. And they sent one for us to try when I was back home, and
Yep.
my dad was like teaching me everything. And when we were shaving it up and getting it ready, like the whole time he was just giddy. It was so funny, like because
That's
he knew this
awesome.
was gonna be the best brisket,
Was
and
this
it
the
really
one you
was.
posted? I think on Instagram. Did
Yeah,
I see this? Okay, it
yeah,
looks so good. Like
it was unreal.
brisket's my absolute favorite. All
Yeah.
right, so this will be kind of fun, I guess. Is this the? So I'm trying to think now. You weren't in this last. When were you in Crash?
I never did Crash.
You've never done Crash. Okay,
No,
got
so
it.
we did. I mean, we did the Taylor versus the World quarterfinals here.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Same
that's
place.
like the competing I've done here.
Okay, got it. Is it fun to actually like get not a break because I know you're still training, but to be able to actually
Yeah.
spectate some high level athletes without actually having to kill yourself the whole time? And
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
I'm a fan of the sport in general, so like I enjoy the watching and like especially because there we go. uh,
that's
I mean
niche historical knowledge.
I mean Taylor and Colton and I mean, Nick Matthew. There's a bunch of people I know that are
Yeah,
competing. Fee's competing, um,
yeah,
and so I'll enjoy that. But we'll also be throwing down. Me and Jason will probably go over to JR's
yeah,
barn and like we'll be still working, but I'm
yeah.
excited to watch.
Yeah, I know JR is fit, particularly for his age. Didn't he make like the
Dude,
Masters games? Yeah.
yeah,
Is there anything he's really good at that like he could give you a run for your money on? Because
a
it's just
lot of
like
things. A
really.
lot of things. Yeah.
Wow.
Last year when I was up here about this time, we jumped in on the every Saturday Crash does a partner workout, and JR, and then there's a guy Taylor Wade that works out at Crash.
Yep.
And when it comes to anything remotely body weight or light, it was a 25 minute workout, and they almost lapped us. It had rope climbs, total bar, wall ball, burpee
Dang.
get overs. Like it wasn't even close. We got destroyed.
Wow. That's interesting. Augustus and I actually had this as a question too, but I know some of them are your
Man.
friends, so I don't want to get you in trouble. You got anybody just going into the weekend that you think looks strong based on
I
the
mean,
event? Like, I'm curious what your thoughts
yeah.
are.
So I know most of the events. To be honest, I haven't paid too close of attention and
Yeah.
haven't like really thought about them.
Yep.
I mean, I think the men's field. Hopefully, I don't leave anyone out. But between Colton Taylor,
Yeah.
Chris Ibarra, and Nick Matthew, I think
Yeah.
we're kind of the heavy hitters.
Yep.
It's
That
just
is
going to be
correct.
a battle, but with the P scoring, there's so many things that could happen. I think.
I honestly didn't even try to understand it. They were talking about it
Yeah.
on barbell spin yesterday. I'll save that for next year. That'll be in my
Yeah, that can one step at a time, right?
Do they so is that used anywhere else, or is that specifically something they
Uh,
came up with for this? Do you know?
I'm sure other competitions have like
Yeah.
implemented it, but Crash has kind of been the first like big one that I've been
Okay.
aware of that have used it. And like, I mean, Colton's going to gain a ton of points on the thruster chest to bar workout.
Yep.
Like it's
Okay.
super weird how it works, but it's really cool.
This
I
is
think.
interesting. Okay. I do
Yeah.
like that. In that type of, it's interesting because somebody like Colton who just there's certain workouts he's just gonna beat anyone. The dude's a beast,
Yeah.
right? And you see him at semifinals and he misses the games.
With like
Something
2 or 3 world records, right?
yeah,
So that's where P
something
score would happen. Yeah.
yeah, something like that does make me interested a little bit in some different scoring type systems. You however are pretty consistent. How many events have you won at the CrossFit Games? Is it
Just one?
One? I thought so. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I would
I think I got 2 seconds this year, maybe.
Yeah. Augustus has me gun shy now. I was gonna say one, but I waited for you to start saying the word. It's like one.
Yeah, one.
Yeah, one. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Okay, so I have a question about the games. Actually, something I noticed from the stands was and maybe this is in my head. I'm thinking like 4 or 5 times. Maybe it was twice. You got beat on the run like barely. It felt like 4 or 5 times. Am I off on that?
No,
Am
I had
mixing you up?
like
On the very end
within
of
a
it, like,
second, right?
yeah.
Yeah. I did. Like it was definitely 4 or 5 times, but it wasn't a lack of like awareness or effort.
Okay.
I think if there was any lack of awareness, it would have been 3 seconds. Like that's just
Yeah.
kind of how the chips fell. Like one that comes to mind was the dumbbell snatch. Like Pat got me,
Yep.
and like I learned a thing about chip timers on that one that won't happen again. It wasn't. It's not reaching with the wrong foot. Like I know all those things.
Okay.
But like there's definitely little things that just like that's just kind of how it fell. Jason beat me by like a second on
I saw that. Yeah.
the deadlift chipper, the Echo Bike one, and then the mile. Like it was 3 back-to-back events. I came in right
Gosh.
behind Jason, and that was pretty annoying. But
I bet. Yeah. Shoot. Is there, this is a weird random question, but it just popped in my head. You mentioned Vellner. You've got to watch him a lot. You've competed with him a lot, and then you guys competed at tier. Is there any noticeable difference? I feel like watching you guys recover. It sounds terrible. I feel like Vellner and Fikowski are like on the ground for like 10 minutes and you guys are like up and walking around. Do you feel like the guys, as they get into their mid 30s, have a noticeably longer recovery time, or is that not a thing? It is for me. I'm just curious if it is.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's instances where the recovery time, but maybe even as the weekend as a whole might be even worse.
Sure. That makes sense.
I don't know. That'd be a good question for them, I think, more than anything.
I'm gonna ask.
Or like in 10 years, come back and I'll tell you.
Right. That's perfect.
I'm hoping no. I'm hoping no. So.
Hey, so Chris Ibarra was talking about on Barbell Spin how he's like out of shape and he is really, and John Young changed his pick and it didn't instill confidence in Chris. My question for you is, it made me curious about other athletes. Is that a pretty normal thing? I'm sure it varies by person, but like when you are like, say, a month off the games or whatever, have you taken it easy to the point, not taking it easy, but let your foot off to the gas to the point where if you were suddenly decided, say, a week or two before something like that to do a competition, it would severely affect you? Or do you feel like you're always ready to go?
No, I definitely go in waves. Like even like this year, I think I'm going to show up to Rogue relatively more fit, like for my capacity compared to last year.
Yeah.
I think I took more time and it was like more easing into it than I did this year. And I think SoCal kind of helped with that, like ripped the Band-Aid off to hurting a little bit. Like coming off of SoCal, I was like, all right, I'm good to go. Where if you take 2-3 weeks off and then you got to start hurting again without any competition, it's like another 3 weeks before you're really like able to. So I think that was a pretty big benefit of SoCal. But definitely have waves like that. I am fitter than other times of the year.
Yeah. Barry, I'm going to pull you up, but I'm not going to have Dallin answer this because I'm not going to get him in trouble saying that people are on PEDs. Everybody's on PEDs or else I'd be dominating. Okay. So, oh, wait. Okay, we're good.
I'll say I think it's people lower, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It would be people at like a low regional, low semifinal, and that's what it's been said for a while. But yeah,
I used to.
Everyone's gonna disagree with whatever anyone says, so there's just not really any point in answering. But whatever.
Yeah, no, I've actually changed my opinion. I used to think like almost everybody was, and then I just learned a little bit more, and I changed my mind. I don't think a lot are. Okay, so Ty came and visited. Did you guys get to work out together a lot?
Yeah, Ty actually did all of my training pieces, which was
really?
nice for me.
So what's that situation like, right? Like when you have somebody you know or a friend come in or whatnot, are you guys still competitive? Because as of right now you guys are both the only 3-time Teens Games champs. Okay.
Yep.
So he's he's young and the transition is hard.
Very.
So right now, just coming out of that, naturally, you're going to be on a totally different level, seemingly. Are there certain workouts that he can keep up with you on? Like,
Nothing that we did. Like I don't think he'll care if I like I buried him on quite a few pieces. But I also told him when I was he's 18 right now, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
He's young. Like if I were to have done those pieces when I was 18, I wouldn't even be finishing. Like the volume accumulation, not over each day, but over 4 years that happens from age of 18 to 22 when you're rowing as a male, like so much happens and you can gain so much fitness, but it's the hardest transition to make because you're coming from the team division to individual and it's a whole different ball game. And I think that's why we lose a lot of athletes.
I was really curious about that. It's actually one of the questions I wanted to ask you, particularly just like watching Ty and wondering what he needs to do to kind of get to that level. You did it seems like quicker than anybody else. You had a quicker transition than James, didn't you? Like when did you come out of the team?
Me and James was the same age and I was there a year earlier than him.
Okay. So is the biggest thing just strength, or is it strength plus everything else too?
For me, like I've always been like I was strong enough. Like when I was 18, maybe 19, I snatched 300 pounds. Like a lot of my lifts were there. It was like gymnastics capacity, and then again overall like training age and volume accumulation, and then just work capacity that I had to increase to compete with the men. And I remember my first open, like I was playing football my senior year for my first open in the individual division, but it felt like I had just started CrossFit again. Like
for your first open,
not even competitive. Like not even competitive. It felt like my first open when I was 14. Like it was crazy.
Yeah. What did you finish on that one? Do you remember? You were still probably.
It was like 600 or I don't even know.
Okay.
Yeah. It would have been the 20. It was the year of the two opens. It was the 2021 open. That was in the fall of 2020.
Yep. That makes sense. So what is it about, you see what Coach Matt has done with his athletes? What makes him like unique? It's kind of fascinating to me. I mean, the fact that he's been able to, just kind of watching James' trajectory and then obviously just you and the other athletes. What is it that you think sets him apart?
Yeah. I mean, I think the new Brute. Yeah.
Sorry.
The Brute, I'll butcher it if I try and say it, but like the new branding of Brute, like it's athlete centered, like there's whatever they're doing. I can't remember the words and I don't want to ruin it. That's the perfect explanation of what we do. I mean, Matt and I, every 4 weeks we do a training cycle. So 3 weeks on and then a deload. And sometime in that deload week, we sit and map out a skeleton, and it's based on what I think I need and what he thinks I need. We combine the two, and then he writes out the programming. So it's very, the training program's like very malleable, and like we change it all the time. And I think we just take a very scientific approach. Like we train strength and conditioning to get better at CrossFit.
Yep.
And we're not afraid to try new things, but also like if something works, we're not going to change it.
Yeah. Even just watching one of his videos, one of his reels, I saw him interacting with one of his athletes and having him do something repeatedly, like every 3 weeks or something, because it was a weakness of his. There was something that was just slightly different from all the sort of generic training videos I see. And it just piqued my curiosity a little bit.
Yeah. I also think with, oh, look, here it is.
Oh, who is it?
It's John.
Hey, John,
dude, this lighting is good.
Did you just get in?
Yeah, he tell you how I had a sub 1 hour
no.
just now.
No, we're not talking about times because
we can talk about John. We can talk about John's time. John was sub 130.
I was
Okay.
almost sub 125.
Almost sub 125.
Didn't have the willpower.
Well, that run was definitely short.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
When I saw you guys were at an hour, I was like,
don't say anything.
Ish.
Don't worry. Nobody
watches this. The giveaway is going to be that we're going to do the giveaway is how much Jason beat me by.
Okay. Is that
it was uphill too, though. That might balance out.
Yeah.
Hey,
we are going to do a giveaway. I'm going to give away a pair of CXT2s.
You guys need to do a
I'm not supposed to say your time.
Yard.
Not my time, but if you have, it's whatever. 40-yard dash.
I win.
You guys need to all do a 40-yard.
John Young
That's why
says he's going to win a 40-yard
that's why.
dash.
Dallin, you have
Y'all
to do
aren't
this.
explosive.
And the reason I want to do this is
Who's the most explosive one out of all three of us?
Is John? Are you explosive, John?
John's saying he's explosive.
That's why
I believe you.
Because I run fast and short distances.
Oh, okay.
All right, we can mess around with that. We can mess around.
Yeah, let me.
You guys,
let me
dude,
go.
you guys got to make that
Sit off.
real.
We make it a real 40-yard dash. We can do that.
You got to do it. That'd be awesome.
Hey, we can go uphill and measure it out and just ride in this road.
Measure out
And
40.
then,
Go
hey,
uphill.
you guys. I know you're young, but you have to
Right now, I
stretch.
have all the confidence in the world in the 40-yard dash.
People.
very call you a lump.
Dallin,
Okay.
Dallin. Here's what you do, dude. You
The
video
record
it.
books.
If he beats you, just don't post it.
Yeah, there you go. Dude, there's
There you
one
go.
guy. There's one guy on Instagram that always comes up on my feed. And,
Yeah.
oh, man. His Instagram is NFL bound.
Yeah. Oh God.
And
I've seen that.
I cannot tell if it's satire or not.
He's like,
If it is, the dude's an incredible actor.
I know.
But like,
I've seen that.
you've seen the page, dude. I will watch his page. I don't follow him, so that when I do come across it,
Yeah.
I can spend like 20 minutes watching it all and like reading
Just
the comments.
going through
And
it all. That's funny.
when there's more comments than likes, you know it's good.
That's true. That's true. More comments than likes is big. Okay.
Dude,
What do I got here?
I
actually had
distracted you. We're
written-
talking
No, we're
about
good.
training, right?
Oh yeah, but I think
Okay.
we're done with that. Oh, here's a good one.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead. What?
I was just gonna say the other thing that sets Matt apart is he's gonna find a way to, like with running, the perfect example. Nothing we were doing was working, and he just kept trying new things, reading new stuff, and he was gonna figure it out. So
Yeah, you got better at running, right? I didn't follow that whole thing a lot, but I remember hearing you guys talk about it, hearing you talk about the tier running shoe that you were in. So running was like a thorn in your side for a while, huh?
I mean, it's still kind of is. Those aren't my best finishes, but we closed the gap a lot. So
yeah, that's interesting. I have a question. Are you ever gonna give James Sprague a chance to beat you at reps ahead or what?
I mean, something's in the works, but it's not to let him beat me.
I just wanted to watch your face on that because
I am the champ.
I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I am, there's a few things planned and I will be at one of those few things. And we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it anymore though. Anyway, I just wanted to, I don't know all the details and I just wanted to kind of ask you that and just kind of look at your face. So we'll see what happens though. Nothing's final until it gets announced. All right. Cool. So we'll wrap up here in the next couple of minutes because I got to do CrossFit. So just real quick, the last thing I really wanted to cover was the tier thing. That looked really fun. So this might have already been talked about. So apologize if it has.
No.
Watching from a distance, I didn't watch all the events. I was in and out of them. It almost seemed to me like we had this thing at the games. It sucked. Everybody's sad. It kind of felt like this fun event, at least for the individuals participating, was kind of like what was needed. I don't know, like maybe healing or whatnot.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I picked up. I didn't hear anybody mention that necessarily. They might have. Is that accurate or no?
For me, so like at the games, like I think I needed to be around my peers and other athletes. I think that was good. Yeah. It was also good to be back around the other athletes and people, and the only people that actually understood what each other was going through.
Exactly.
So that was really nice to be around everyone, and it was lighthearted at SoCal and fun and competitive, and the community was there. Like we got to interact with people a lot because we only competed at night, and we were doing like activations and stuff with sponsors, so we were very involved with everyone and all of those things. I get like healing, I guess, would be not a word I would normally use, but that would be how I would describe it.
I didn't really know how either. It just looked like we haven't seen anything since the games. I know Ariel, for instance, she was absolutely tore up and she looked like she was having fun hitting PRs, and I'm like, man, this is kind of the event I feel like we needed,
I would 100% agree.
Do you know if you're doing Miami or not?
I will be there in some capacity for
Okay.
sure, doing some competing. I'm still figuring out exactly.
Got it.
There's stuff in the talks, but it's secret.
Okay. All right. I've got some ideas on that, but cool. So, hey, I have a question. So you guys posted some funny reels there. Did you and Pat, do you already have that kind of relationship, or did you guys kind of step it up with the joking and fooling around with each other at this last event?
I think, Pat kind of took me under his wing. It felt like to me, like my first individual Wadapalooza. And I kind of like inserted myself a little bit, like just trying to, like, he's one of the best, like, so I'm going to figure out what he is.
He ain't going team, bro. He's joking.
But like Pat's been awesome. Like always there for a mentorship. Like I could text him, call him whenever, like with any questions. After that first Wadapalooza, he let me just call and pick his brain about different things. And it's been fun to kind of like earn my way into that group, if you want to say, where like, like if you get shit from Pat, it's a good thing. So,
yeah, exactly.
It keeps it a lot of fun, and it's way more fun when Pat's around, not gonna lie. Like, so me and Jason and some of the young guys trying to continue that and carry the torch and keep things fun in the back for everybody, especially the rookies that are coming in that don't know what they're getting into and they're all so nervous. Like I was there. That first year is brutal.
So I didn't those things that you guys posted were absolutely cracking me up. The one with Guy and the Hugger Games. So I just laughed at it because I assume I knew what was going on. Can you briefly explain that to me? I think I know, but I'm not 100% sure. Like was it that he was just gonna beat you on that because he lifts the Olympics so heavy? So you were volunteering yourself as tribute?
Yeah. So like the game plan, ideally, if we were going to win that event, we were going to win the first 4 matchups with the 2 lighter bars.
Yeah.
And then by the time Tia and Guy lifted, it was going to be over. We'd already won. And like I was essentially volunteering as tribute to go get beaten by Guy. Yeah. And then the event, they had already won. So it like was even worse that we had no chance of winning. I was going out against Guy, no chance of winning in a clean ladder against Guy. So I like made sure Carlos, the guy doing my YouTube and getting some of my content, I was like, hey, make sure you get this. We're gonna get a reel. Guy thought it was hilarious, and then the best part was I beat him off the bar muscle ups. So like I had to take my win.
Oh yeah.
So
I feel like I saw it, but then I didn't remember that. That was funny, dude.
Yeah.
I love that.
The best was the comments were like, you celebrated too early, you guys stay in the race. I'm like, there was no race. Like
that's awesome.
It wasn't a race. That's why it was good.
Oh man, that's great. Yeah, we want to see more of the hopper stuff, man. Like in the funny stuff. You guys are really good at that. So I hope we get to see more comedic stuff, more competition between you and Hopper. I don't know if you guys saw the comments. I'm pretty sure on that you guys posted a baseball thing. Was it Hopper? Was it Hopper's swing where everybody's just like, does this guy even play baseball?
It was back and forth. I'll admit, swinging barefoot for the first time in like 2 years wasn't making mine any better.
All right,
we were a little rusty. We were shaking it off.
I know Josh.
Josh Bridges was in the comments saying his 8-year-old has a better swing, which is funny. But yeah.
All right, guys. We're getting out of here in 1 minute. So let's see if we got any questions. What's he asking about? How do we win the Oh, what are you going to tell us about?
We're gonna
free stuff.
we'll post something this weekend, and hopefully our times don't get shared, but it's gonna be whoever's closest to guessing how much Jason beat me by.
Okay.
So
John, you know the times. That
John
doesn't make any sense. All right, man. I want to let you get out of here. I hope you guys have a lot of fun this weekend. I really appreciate you fitting this in. I know being somewhere else. Appreciate it, dude. And we'll catch up with you at some other point.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, Tom.
Talk to you later.
All right.